White gamefowl have always stood out, not just because of their appearance, but because many breeders associate them with elegance, intelligence, unique bloodline history. Some are pure white. Others are white variants of famous bloodlines like Kelso, Hatch, Whitehackle. But here's the interesting part. Not all white gamefowl are the same. In this video, we'll explore the different types and variants of white gamefowl worldwide, their characteristics, origins, and why they remain popular among breeders today. Why white gamefowl attract attention? White gamefowl are visually unique. Their bright plumage, clean appearance, noticeable presence make them stand out immediately. Why many breeders like them? Some breeders appreciate white birds because of aesthetic beauty, unique appearance, bloodline history, breeding potential. In many breeding programs, white birds are also used as foundation stock. Understanding white variants. Important clarification. White gamefowl is not just one bloodline. Many are actually color variants, sublines, white expressions of existing families.
Important point. A white bird may still belong to Kelso, Hatch, Whitehackle, Claret, or other lines. Color alone does not define the family. Well-known white gamefowl variants. Whitehackle, one of the most respected white-related bloodlines. Traditional whitehackles are often associated with tactical movement, intelligent behavior, balanced structure. Some white variants appear as solid white birds with clean plumage. Why whitehackle is popular? Breeders often describe whitehackles as smart, composed, highly aware. This made them influential in many breeding programs. White Kelso, a white variation connected to the Kelso family, known for adaptability, balance, intelligence. Important note, white Kelso is often used in crossing programs, structured breeding systems, especially when balance is the goal. White Hatch, a white-related variation of hatch-type birds, often associated with strength, durability, responsiveness. Some breeder-based lines include white-legged hatch variations. Why this variant is discussed often? Because many breeders debate purity, genetics, leg color influence, making white hatch one of the most discussed white variants. Zamboanga White, a well-known bloodline from the Philippines, recognized by many local breeders for unique characteristics, recognizable appearance, strong identity within local breeding culture. Importance in local breeding. This variant became popular due to regional influence, breeder preference, long-term recognition. Thompson White, known among some breeders as a balanced and controlled type, often associated with coordination, timing, smooth movement. White Choco, a modern variation often connected to pile hatch influence, white and brown feather combinations, giving it a very recognizable appearance. Other white-related variants. Some breeders also recognize white butcher, white claret throwbacks, white pile variations, often appearing through selective breeding and genetics. Common characteristics of white gamefowl. Appearance. White gamefowl are often known for clean feather color, bright visual appearance, compact structure, making them visually attractive. Movement. Depending on the bloodline, many white variants are associated with responsive movement, coordination, active behavior. Intelligence. Some breeders describe certain white variants as thinking birds, meaning aware, adaptive, responsive. Common misunderstandings. Many beginners think
white means a separate bloodline. But in reality, white can simply be a color expression. Important truth. Two white birds may look similar, but belong to completely different families. How white variants appear. White coloration can appear through selective breeding, recessive genetics, color-focused pairing, especially over multiple generations. Color versus quality. This is very important. White color does not automatically mean higher quality. The real focus should still be structure, movement, consistency, adaptability. Why breeders still value white variants? Despite debates, white gamefowl remain popular because of visual appeal, unique identity, historical influence, and breeding versatility. Practical breeding perspective. Smart breeders do not focus only on color. Instead, they evaluate structure, movement, behavior, long-term consistency. Color is secondary. Conclusion. White gamefowl are more than just visually attractive birds. They represent history, genetics, selective breeding development. From Whitehackle, White Kelso, White Hatch, Zamboanga White, Thompson White, White Choco, each variant carries its own story and characteristics. But remember, appearance alone should never define quality. If you enjoy educational content like this, subscribe to Chicken Matter Talk for more bloodline guides and breeding discussions.